Wealth is coming. Are you prepared? Chosen one, this message didn't reach you by accident. It's divine timing. You've walked through hard seasons, lack, waiting, wondering why it seemed like others were thriving while you were just trying to survive. But here's the truth. You weren't cursed. You were being carved. God was building something stronger in you. Every delay, every closed door, every moment of not enough had purpose. He was protecting you, pruning you, and preparing you. Now something in the spirit is shifting. What's coming isn't just money, it's meaning. It's not just provision, it's purpose. The wealth that's arriving is not only financial, it's spiritual, emotional, and generational. This isn't just a breakthrough, it's a divine repositioning. You asked for clarity, you asked for purpose, and now God is responding, not with a quick fix, but with a lasting foundation. This is your confirmation. You're not being overlooked, you're being aligned. If your spirit resonates, it's because God is awakening something deep inside of you. Don't ignore it. The process shaped you, the pain trained you. And now, the promise is finding you. You are chosen. You are ready. And this is only the beginning. Chapter 1. You were broke to learn dependence. Chosen one, your season of lack wasn't a sign of failure. It was a divine classroom. Being broke wasn't just about empty pockets. It was about emptying yourself of false security. God was teaching you that your stability could never be built on income, applause, or position. It had to be built on hymnai. What felt like a setback was actually sacred training. In that quiet place of not having enough, you discovered that God is more than enough. You learned how to pray, not out of routine, but out of real need. You found strength in surrender. You saw miracles not because everything was perfect, but because God was present. He didn't withhold to punish you. He held back to prepare you. He couldn't give you the blessing until He gave you the foundation. And now, you're different. Your faith has been tested and proven. Your heart is aligned. You don't just seek the gift, you trust the giver. So don't resent that season. It shaped you. It trained you. It taught you how to stand on faith, walk in obedience, and believe when nothing made sense. That season built a dependence no money could buy. Now you're ready for provision with purpose, ready for increase that won't break you, because now you know where your true source is, and it's always been God. Chapter 2. You were broke to build humility. Chosen one, the financial struggle you walked through wasn't God punishing you. It was Him preparing you. He wasn't trying to make you feel small. He was shaping a heart that could be trusted with more. Before He could raise you up, He had to root you in humility. Lack has a way of revealing the truth. When you had nothing to hide behind, no status, no comfort, no extra, you discovered who you really were. And more importantly, you discovered who God really is. In that place of emptiness, you learned to appreciate what others overlook. You learned to show up without applause, to give even when you lacked, and to remain faithful when no one saw. You didn't just lose money, you lost pride. And in its place, God planted something deeper. Gratitude, compassion, strength, and surrender. You learned that your worth isn't measured by what's in your hands, but by what's in your heart. You also found out who truly stood with you when you had nothing to give but your prayers. And because of that humility, God can now trust you. You won't worship the blessing. You'll honor the blesser. You won't use influence to boast, but to build. The doors that are opening for you now aren't a result of your striving, but your surrender. Wait, you were broke, but not broken. You were being prepared, not punished. Now, because your spirit is low, God is ready to raise you high. And He'll do it with favor, because your posture, not your pride, is what made you ready. Chapter 3. You were broke to learn stewardship. Chosen one, your season of lack wasn't merely about surviving or enduring hardship. It was a divine training ground. God was teaching you the powerful and sacred principle of stewardship, not just over money, but over your mindset, your moments, your decisions, and ultimately, your mission. In the world's eyes, being broke means scarcity, lack, and limitation. But in God's kingdom, it is often the starting point of the most profound growth. When you had little but had to stretch it far, you gained wisdom that no wealth could buy. When faced with choosing between wants and needs, your discernment was refined. When you trusted God for every small provision, whether for gas, groceries, or rent, your faith moved beyond surface prayers and became deeply rooted. God wasn't withholding blessing to punish you, but to protect you. He wanted to prepare you so abundance wouldn't become a stumbling block, leading to pride, waste, or spiritual blindness. You were never meant to be wealthy just to show off. You were meant to be faithful stewards. In those quiet, tough moments, you learned to manage your time, energy, and habits wisely. You understood that stewardship is about faithfulness over what seems small and insignificant. You began practicing discipline, delayed gratification, and consistency. You stopped chasing flashy quick fixes and started building steady, lasting foundations. Now, God is preparing to entrust you with more, not to inflate your ego, but to expand your impact. He's positioning you to be a blessing to others, to break generational cycles of lack, and to finance kingdom purposes that uplift the voiceless, feed the hungry, and support the mission. You are no longer just a receiver, but a wise manager and overseer of God's divine resources. Your broken season was necessary. It sharpened your vision, strengthened your hands to hold with care, and opened your heart to give generously. Remember, chosen one, true wealth is about wisdom, stewardship, and faithfulness. And now that you've been trained in these things, the doors to divine increase and lasting impact are opening wide. Walk boldly into this next chapter, knowing God has prepared you for more than just success. He has prepared you for significance. Chapter 4. You were broke to protect your purpose. Chosen one, your season of financial lack was never about shame. It was about protection. God wasn't withholding from you out of punishment, but out of love. He saw what you couldn't see, that certain blessings, given too soon, could have pulled you off course. If God had poured wealth into your hands before your heart was grounded, it could have become a distraction. Success without spiritual maturity can silence your hunger for God. Abundance without alignment can lead to confusion and compromise. So He allowed the empty hands to teach you how to have a full heart. You weren't just broke financially, you were being refined spiritually. With nothing to lean on but Him, your focus shifted. You weren't chasing status, you were chasing clarity. You weren't building a name, you were discovering your purpose. In the quiet, when doors were closed and options were few, God began to reveal who you really are. That season forced you to slow down, to listen deeper, and to draw closer. It was in the stillness that you heard God speak, not about money, but about mission, not about success, but about significance. Now, you're different. You've been stripped of ego and pride. You've been guarded from distractions disguised as blessings. God protected your purpose by keeping you hidden. And now that you've grown in wisdom and maturity, He can trust you with more. What's ahead is not just wealth, it's purpose-driven provision. It's influence that honors heaven. It's resources that serve the kingdom, not just your comfort. Because God didn't just want to bless you, He wanted to build you. And He did. So take heart. What looked like delay was divine preparation. What felt like rejection was redirection. And the doors that are about to open will match the calling He placed on your life. You're not just stepping into a new level, you're stepping into it ready. Chapter 5. You were broke to reveal who you truly are. Chosen one, that season of financial struggle wasn't random. It was sacred. God allowed the resources to dry up not to punish you, but to purify you. He wanted to show you, and the heavens, who you really are when you have nothing to prove your worth. When the bank account was low and opportunities seemed far off, your character was being refined. God was watching, not to see how you'd handle wealth, but how you'd walk through the wilderness. Would you still pray when there was no answer? Would you still give when it cost you? Would you still obey when no one was clapping? You did. You stayed kind. You held on to faith. You worshipped without a stage and trusted God without a sign. And in doing so, you showed heaven that your identity wasn't tied to money, applause, or visibility. It was anchored in Him. This wasn't about losing finances. It was about discovering faithfulness, the kind that says, even if nothing changes, I still believe. That kind of faith is rare, and now that you've been tested in lack, you're ready to be trusted in abundance. God doesn't bless potential, He blesses preparation. And you've been prepared in the quiet, proven in the shadows. And now, when the wealth comes, it won't change who you are. It will simply reflect who you've always been, steady, surrendered, and aligned with heaven. So walk forward in peace. The increase is not to define you, it's to position you, because you've shown that your soul can handle what your hands are about to receive. Chapter 6. Chosen one. The wealth that's coming to you is not just a reward, it's a responsibility. This isn't just about personal comfort or material gain. It's about purpose, calling, and divine assignment. God is placing something sacred in your hands, not just for you to enjoy, but for you to steward. You've walked through lack, not just to survive it, but to understand it, so you would carry compassion with every dollar and humility with every door He opens. Your past struggles weren't wasted. They were training grounds. God was shaping your heart so that when the overflow came, you'd use it to lift others, not just yourself. This new season of provision is coming with instructions. You'll be called to build what others only dream of, to support those still fighting their way out, to fund visions, ministries, and missions that carry eternal weight. You'll create safe spaces for others to heal because you remember what it felt like to be broken. You've been tested in secret, through lack, through silence, through hidden faithfulness, and now God sees you as ready to be trusted, ready to give, sow, bless, and build. You're not just receiving wealth, you're being commissioned for kingdom impact. So don't hold back. Stay sensitive to His voice. When the Spirit nudges you to give, to pour out, to move, do it. This isn't about building status. It's about building legacy. God didn't just choose you to prosper. He chose you to partner with heaven for the good of others. The wealth is coming, chosen one. But it's not just for comfort. It's coming to commission you. Chapter 7. Chosen one. This isn't just a new chapter, it's a divine turnaround. This is your payback season, but not the kind the world expects. This is heaven's response to your faithfulness, your endurance, and your quiet obedience in the dark. God saw the tears no one else did. He heard the prayers you could barely put into words. While others overlooked you, heaven was watching and preparing. You weren't just surviving, you were sowing in the Spirit. Every act of obedience, every sacrifice, every time you chose God over comfort was a seed. And now, the harvest is here. This payback isn't rooted in revenge, it's rooted in righteousness. God is restoring more than you lost. He's giving you back your voice, your peace, your confidence, your purpose, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. This season won't just bring provision, it will bring clarity, wisdom, and undeniable favor. You'll walk into places where you were once rejected and be welcomed with honor, not because of who you are, but because of who you carry. Doors are opening that no man can shut. Delays are turning into divine timing. What once felt like loss was actually protection. What seemed like a setback was training for your comeback. And the best part? You don't need to announce a thing. Your fruit will speak. Your peace will shine. Your testimony will draw others to God. Get ready, chosen one. This isn't the end of the story. It's the fulfillment of what God whispered when you were still in the fire. The wait is over. The heavens are moving. This is your divine payback, and it's only the beginning.